Hello and welcome to a new edition of Interview with Irene. And today I have a very awesome guest. I'm very excited to finally have her. It's Stacy Mazzulla McCargo, and we've known each other from high school. And
Yes, high school. That means we're really old, Irene.
they don't need to know that. And Stacy works at the Epilepsy Foundation,
hmm
yes,
Yes.
but she also does theater work at her local theater, and she's taking acting classes because it's become a passion that hopefully she can pursue. And I haven't forgotten about you being Maggie if my movie ever
Well, I'm counting on you,
happened.
Irene, to give me my big break.
I know it's taking forever, but hopefully one of these days it can happen. So, but
Okay.
thank you, Stacy, for finally making it. And so happy to finally have you.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm glad it worked out, and thank you for your flexibility. It's great.
Wonderful. So, could we start by talking about when you became interested in acting and how you went about getting getting parts at the Theater of Western Springs?
Sure. So I think I've always been interested in acting, probably since I was a little girl. I always liked to perform and be on stage. I always felt like that was really fun. And then I did some acting in high school and a little bit in college, just like small stuff. And then when I became an adult and I moved to Western Springs, I found out about this community theater in my neighborhood called the Theater of Western Springs. And it's a great organization. So I joined the theater there by taking an acting class and becoming part of their part of their group of actives that perform on stage and work backstage and just sort of run the theater. It's a volunteer based community theater. So we have about 300 people that work to keep the theater going, and so I've been there since 2006. And I've done several plays there. I've done some plays out in the western suburbs as well, some other locations. But it's definitely a really wonderful hobby that I find. It's a good outlet. It's nice to do something different. It keeps your brain sharp by having to memorize lines. Um, and it's a great experience. You learn about yourself, you learn about other people, makes you look at life differently, and it's just something that I really love to do.
Wonderful. And you have a new production coming up.
I
Um,
do.
um, and you sound very excited about it. Would you like to plug it here now?
Yes, I'm gonna even show you a little promo picture of it. Hold on.
Wonderful.
Let me
Yay.
hold on. Let's see. Here we go. So here we go. This is the show. It is called How I Learned to Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And the dates are September 26th through October 6th, as you can see at the Theater of Western Springs. And yeah, so it's actually a really great show. It's a wonderful script. It's a Pulitzer Prize winning script. It won the Pulitzer Prize in the 90s. The author is Paula Vogel. And it's a story about survival. It's a story about family. It's a story about forgiveness. And it's a story about being human, which I think are things that we can all relate to on different levels. It's a very real, raw, human play. And if you're interested in seeing, something that is going to make you think, that you're going to feel something afterwards, this is the show to see.
Wonderful. And I can even include a link in the description of this video. And
Great.
as we were just saying, I'm planning to see it and even have a guest who was open to coming with too. So,
That would be great. I'd love to
yeah,
see you there. Bring friends, bring people. It's going to be a good
wonderful. Yes, I will.
time.
Um, so, and I've been to some of your past
You
productions,
have. You've been an awesome fan and supporter.
right?
Shout out to Irene.
And same thing, my mom came with me for several of them before she.
Yes.
Yes, so which of your past productions is a favorite?
It's
Would,
a favorite. Let's
is
see.
it okay to ask?
Yes, totally okay to ask. I have loved every show that I've been in for different reasons. So it's hard to pick an absolute favorite, but one of my I really liked the show that I did 2 years ago, Miss Holmes, where I played Dr. Watson, and I think just because I love Sherlock Holmes and I love the stories, so it's kind of a nostalgic feeling. I kind of grew up. My mom loved Sherlock Holmes. It was just something that I remember sort of from my childhood. So being actually able to be in a production of a Sherlock Holmes story, but with a twist as women, Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson were women in this production. That was a really neat experience and really fun. So that's definitely one of my favorite ones on my list.
Wonderful. Now, as I mentioned before, you also work in the Epilepsy Foundation. Could you tell us a little bit about your work there?
For sure. So I've been at the Epilepsy Foundation for, oh my gosh, almost 8 years now. November will
Um,
be 8 years. But I'm a community educator for them. So basically, what that means is I travel to places, usually schools, community agencies, and I train people how to recognize when somebody's having a seizure, and then what to do first aid wise to help them if they are having a seizure. So that's pretty much the majority of my work.
right. And is there any similarities between that work and acting? I would imagine you have to know how to perform well in each.
Yes, I mean, right, because mostly what I do for work is public speaking and interacting with the audience. Or, yeah, exactly, interacting with the audience. So, I mean, yeah, you have to definitely be comfortable being in front of a large group of people. You have to be comfortable, speaking in front of people. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of crossover between acting on stage and then just being a public speaker in work. So, for sure.
Oh, wonderful. And also, you have a new addition to the family.
We do. Would you like to see her?
Yes, you.
Here she is.
Oh, so cute.
She's taking a little nap right now.
Uh, she's so precious.
Yep, that's
Doing.
Beanie. She's a
I
2-year-old rescue from a local shelter.
oh, nice. And I imagine all their kids love her,
They do,
right?
absolutely. It's been really fun having her.
Very good. Any other interests or hobbies?
Well, right now it's hard to do multiple things, but right now I'm focusing on the theater stuff. I like to do backstage work at the theater too, even when I'm not on stage. So that's always fun. And I volunteer at my kids' school a lot. I'm a room parent, so I'm planning parties, doing things like that. That takes up a lot of time as well, in addition to work. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. And any advice for anyone interested in acting, either professionally or as a side interest?
You know, there's so many local community theaters out there, which is great. So I definitely encourage anyone who's interested in just wanting to learn about acting or has loved acting and always wanted to try it, or maybe just wants to build their self-confidence, go check out a community theater. It's a really great place to start, to learn about acting, to get your feet wet, to meet great people, make friends, build your confidence, improve your public speaking. I mean, there's so many positives for doing it. So I would definitely encourage anyone that's even thinking about it to just go out there and try it. It's a lot of fun. You won't be disappointed.
Wonderful. Well, this was definitely so awesome to have you on, and
Thank you so much.
hopefully we'll have you again sometime.
Anytime. I'm happy to. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at the show.
Yay, we'll be there.
All right.
And thank you for joining me for another edition of Interview with Irene. I'll see you next time.
See you
Bye.
next time. Bye.